One of the beautiful realities of true freedom of speech is that occasionally we are all going to hear things that we disagree with, or even worse, the things that offend us. Unfortunately, true freedom of speech is under attack throughout our world. We are regularly seeing protests, large and small, shut down by jackbooted thugs with badges. That's why standing up for the First Amendment is so important. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Rob, and I'm one of the Freeman people.
It's the Freeman people.
Oh no! Today's video features a protest that I stand against on nearly every level, but I fully support the First Amendment rights of these two protesters. It's from Easton, Pennsylvania, and features two officers from the Easton Feelings Enforcement Department.
I've asked you to leave because you are offending
But
and
where am
bothering
I
them.
leaving?
And this guy who hates cameras.
Really ingenious. Let's get a camera going.
Every year, Easton Farmers Market hosts Bacon Fest, a two-day event featuring over 150 food and drink vendors, as well as concerts. Sounds like a delicious blast to me, but there are a number of people who take issues with the meat industry and the way the animals are raised, including the protesters in today's video. I personally raise animals for food, and I do so in a manner I feel is proper treatment of each type of animal I raise. That said, this isn't a view about the ethical treatment of dinner. It's about the rights of individuals to express themselves in public about convictions that they hold. At Bacon Fest earlier this year, YouTuber Alicia Demi and another person were standing on a public sidewalk in front of Three Oaks Steakhouse, a restaurant in downtown Easton, while holding signs in protest, as well as informing people of a documentary to watch about meat. As we see in her video, there was a vendor tent on the road, and she was standing on the public sidewalk between the restaurant and the vendor.
He's giving unlawful directives. It's not a crime to stand on a public sidewalk.
This is their property. They do not want you in front. They are renting this area for now.
So the officer says this is their property, but as you can see, they're clearly on a public sidewalk.
Public sidewalk, sir.
We have rights.
Brian Burd, badge number is 1040. My body camera is on. The people that are here are asking you to please leave. They do not want you in front of the restaurant with these signs.
We're not committing a crime by standing on a public sidewalk.
Why would you want to stay?
Apparently they're saying something.
I'm going to freely go.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's an unlawful
appreciate it.
directive if you tell people they can't stand on a public sidewalk.
Not accurate.
Watch some First Amendment audits. Educate yourself on the First Amendment.
Can you give her a little space?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Sure? Come on.
Take a picture.
Yeah, take a picture with me.
Why can everyone else stand on this sidewalk but we can't? Just because we have a sign? That makes no sense, Jake.
I'll take a picture with you. You gotta be more unbiased.
Why are you standing so close to me, dude?
I can stand wherever I want, just like you do. So I can stand here. It's
Yes.
a public sidewalk, right? It's
Yes.
a public sidewalk, right?
Officer Burd here is asked why he's standing so close to Alicia Demi, to which he responds that it's a public sidewalk, so he has freedom to stand there. So in just over a minute into his encounter, he's both lied about them being on private property, then he contradicts himself by using the public sidewalk as an excuse for standing close to a citizen. You'd have to be a cop to be this stupid.
Wow. So unprofessional, dude. So unprofessional.
Here's what it is.
This cop thinks he can tell me what I can do, what I can and cannot do. On public sidewalk. There's the sidewalk. The audacity to think that you can tell me what to do.
Have you ever watched First Amendment audits?
Can we borrow you for a second?
Absolutely.
We're standing on a public sidewalk.
What do you need?
I just would love
Are you? Do you have any respect?
I have mace, just so you know.
You have any
would back
respect?
up. I will defend myself if I have to.
gentleman handle it.
Wow, that's really ingenious. Let's get a camera going. If I'm not breaking the law, you can't tell me what to do. That's the way the law works.
You do understand that people who are here that own this property and are renting this business have asked you to leave because you are offending and bothering them. Just go down the sidewalk. That's it.
If you guys want to stay here, we'll just stand here. We'll just all video each other. Okay, I'll stay here just as long.
I'm pretty tired of standing here. I just don't want you guys to think that you can tell me what to do.
First off, I didn't tell you anything. So we're just standing there hanging out.
Yeah,
so
well,
if you
this
guys want to
officer is
stand here and
giving unlawful
videotape each other, we'll videotape each other all the time.
They requested that you guys do not stand here. I was passing that
it's
along.
an unlawful directive.
I don't have to listen to you.
He didn't say that. So we're staying here and we'll just video each other for hours. That's fine.
This is Captain Herncane of the Easton PD. I tried to reach him for this video, but he didn't respond to my phone call. I was going to ask him if he feels that an officer recording a citizen all day while that citizen is engaged in a constitutionally protected activity is a good use of taxpayers' money, or if he considers himself a private journalist. But anyway, why do egotistical cops like this so often revert to saying things like this?
Have asked you to leave because you are offending and bothering them.
So according to the officers, Three Oaks Steakhouse called because some people were standing on a public sidewalk outside their establishment and they were holding signs in protest of Bacon Fest. The protesters' crime they were committing was apparently offending and bothering the restaurant owners and their customers. People who are offended when other people oppose their views are people who don't live their lives with conviction. Face it, if a person is wishy-washy on their views and you start pointing out flaws in them, it's offensive. And offensive is the worst possible thing to be in our world today. Do the owners of this restaurant really think that customers are going to choose to not eat their product because someone is holding up anti-meat signs at an event called Bacon Fest? You've got a specialized audience here. If people are walking by your booth and not stopping to eat your meat, maybe it's time to consider that your product is inferior to the other vendors and stop blaming others for your crappy product.
More pig for us.
See, this guy here clearly knows how to handle someone holding a sign he doesn't agree with. More pig for us is all anyone needed to say to these protesters. There's a few layers of irony calling the police to ruin a perfectly peaceful Bacon Fest. There's a reason freedom of speech was included as the First Amendment to the Constitution. Without free speech, we will never be fully free. It's a freedom worth standing up for in the face of tyranny. I applaud these two protesters. Anytime someone stands up for their First Amendment rights, they're also standing up for your First Amendment rights. The contact info for Captain Herncane, Brian Burd, and the Easton PD is in the description and a pinned comment below. Captain Herncane evidently has enough time to stand and film all day. I bet he's not real busy for a phone call. Feel free to reach out and help educate them on your freedom of speech. Thanks for taking action against tyranny. Here's a couple of videos you may have missed, and while you're at it, check out the Freeman People merch.